Good evening, everyone. As usual, welcome to another episode of Little Filmosa. I am YJ.
I'm Shu Ying.
And I'm June.
Yo.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Christmas is coming. It's been 1 year already.
Yeah,
Soon.
another year that's mostly under quarantine.
We started this in New Year, no, right?
No. We started this.
I remember it's after Chinese New Year. I remember
It's between 36 and 39 weeks.
Yeah, 39 weeks. Yeah. No, what I want to say is, it's already November. In the blink of an eye, it'll be December. I don't think like, November. We still have 1 month before the year end, but
Time
just like that,
pass
you
very
know,
fast.
gonna be 2022. Oh my god, so hard to say.
Seriously, hopefully 2022 would be really less and less of COVID really.
That's what everyone's hoping.
2021 and 22 is like these 2 years are really not good.
Wait, you mean 2020 and 2021, right? You
Yeah,
said 2021.
sorry. 2020 and 2021. Oh my god, I already fast forward to 22 already.
When I'm so used to say 2012, it's already 2021. God damn it.
Oh,
And 22 is
2012
coming, decade already.
2012 was when last year, right? My last year in uni. Oh my god.
Still remember 2012, that time everyone thought is the end of the world.
Yeah, I remember something like that, but I don't remember the details. It's like the end of the Mesopotamia
Something like
calendar
that.
or
I also
something,
don't
right?
really know.
The Mayan, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, something related to Mayan. No, not really. It's about today's movie.
What a segue.
Dune. Yeah, it's this year's movie. It's been hyped up a lot, right? It's been directed by. We just have a really interesting discussion how to pronounce his name.
His name, yeah.
Yeah, like come Shuing.
Danny Villeneuve. Sorry if I pronounce wrongly. I keep watching the YouTube video to see how others pronounce his name. Danny Villeneuve or something like that.
The S is omitted, right? Danny.
Yeah.
I don't even want to try, alright? Okay. First of all, I've not read the book at all, but I did learn some of the lore from Dune universe through other means of content. While it was interesting, but I wasn't too invested in it. However, after watching this movie, my interest level is double, and I would like to explore more about this whole Dune series. This movie is easily 8 out of 10 from me. I really enjoy the storytelling, the world building, the cinematography in this movie a lot. And the character wise, I have no complaint. And most of the characters have enough distinction, and I'm able to immerse into the movie with their acting, combined with the cinematography, and of course the excellent musical score. So yeah, this is actually a surprise to me, because I thought I'm gonna just go and enjoy some actions and whatnot, but I'm surprised that I enjoyed throughout the whole movie. Maybe part of it is due to not having expectation going into this movie. Yeah, so that's my score 8 out of 10. It's pretty high for me. I enjoy a lot.
Actually, I same as you. My score is also easily 8 out of 10. I went in because I think it was hyped up quite a lot. I went in with some expectation actually, and but I also don't really know Dune, the lore, the world. I don't really know about the background. But after I watched the movie, it really, I think the movie did its job that it really intrigued me. It get me interested. I very
True.
interested.
Same.
I go and explore the world behind. And actually, I one thing I really want to stress on here, I watched twice already this movie, 2 times. I watched one is on small screen, okay, because it was like air at the
Oh.
same time, small screen and the big screen. And second time, I watched on the big screen, okay. I seriously recommend people who ever listen to this podcast, really go to big screen, seriously, the biggest screen you can find, because I think the experience is really different.
I would
Because
imagine.
the cinematography is really like, I feel that Denis Villeneuve is like, every scene he want to make it epic, it really feel like every scenes, it really feel like every scene is out of the world. It's not in the earth and what. It really feel like, oh, it's another world, the Dune world. Then and another thing really want to highlight when I watch on big screen, because I went in, I already know this movie is scored by Hans Zimmer. Then but when I watch on small screen, I think it's fine. I think it's good. Hans Zimmer is always good. But when I watch on big screen, I can straight away tell, that's really Hans Zimmer score because the sound system blasts it like louder, and it really built the atmosphere very much more stronger, and you really feel that, that's really quite strong Hans Zimmer style in it. Then that's why I would say that, I really strongly recommend to watch on big screen, especially the first, because at first I went in without knowing anything. Then at first you need to follow, you really need to pay attention to the world actually. But it is, I think it did a good,
characters
the
and the world,
characters,
everything.
their different setting, their law actually.
Yeah.
Then second time, because I understand somehow I do some reading about that, then I really totally can just enjoy the movie. I like it even better actually. Then I like the movie a lot. I think with these 2 years that I didn't go to, almost like very rare go to cinema, I seriously think this movie is a great experience to go back to the cinema.
Wow. Sounds like really need to go and do some research and really read the book. Because I didn't read the book or do any research, and
So the three of us didn't even read the book. Yeah, the non-follower of Frank
Dune.
Herbert's Dune.
Yeah.
the only guidance I had was I think last episode we talked about, it's the predecessor of Star Wars and Game of Thrones, sort of like, these two series or these two stories actually draw a lot from Dune, right? In Dune, I think I'll give you about a 6 or 7, 6 I think, because I think the story wise, the good guy and the bad guy is very clear, and you know who is a good guy and who's a bad guy, and the bad guy is like really disgusting, and just like evil without any backstory behind
dark.
it.
The setting is always dark in a dark room.
And the way they live is like very unhuman, right? Which is not what I guess Game of Thrones. If I compare with Game of Thrones, it actually does show the soft side of other families as well. But this one is really more on like, okay, there's one good family and then the rest are, like the emperor army is like, before they go to war, they will have like dead people blood put on them, and then the other side where Dave Bautista is there, that Harkonnen, also is very like ruthless, cruel, and etc. So it felt like there's I can't really see the realistic part of like why the not so good families are acting like this. Yeah, maybe I didn't. That's why maybe the book might make a whole lot of difference, but I didn't read it lah.
So you don't understand why are they that cruel?
Such a clear cut evil guy, evil person.
True also, true also.
I agree. I understand where you
Yeah,
come
yeah.
from actually. I think Dune is more of a that's why I say it is more like just because when Dune was created, it was much more long ago. It is more of I won't say simple. I won't say simple, but then it's more it is more of a resemblance of the world, and they just want. I think the author Frank Herbert more like want to he get the inspiration. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, he get the inspiration. The spice in the story basically is like resemblance of our petrol lah, because that was the time, the era that petrol was the most important things for our world then that I think that's why he more portray the bad guys are more clear cut, like maybe want money and they just want to grab the power and things like that. But I don't disagree. I get where you come from.
Or maybe people that era likes a more clear cut entertainment. Like when I read a story, or when I watch a movie, I really want like to know exactly who the bad guy is, and so that I can really hate the bad guy, and cheer for the hero. But I think recently movies recently are actually more twisted, right?
Yeah, it's interesting, because for me, I think that it's very easily I can understand why they are evil. It's not really evil. It's just that they want to monopoly the spice. Like everybody wants the spy. So if you're able to control it, then you are the most powerful
Person
house
in the
galaxy.
universe.
Yeah. So therefore, no matter how what it takes, they want to control it. So I can see why it's just like something important. For example, in our current world, like I say, even like this era, if you control petrol, if you control the oil, right, then you are pretty much set, right? Yeah.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, Frank Herbert also draw more inspirations from some religious religious symbols and religious style of telling story as well. So it is also a bit more, especially I also don't know, is it because Denis Villeneuve, when he shoot several scenes, you also can see quite strong religions elements there. So I think they intended to make it, but then intended to make it this way. Then but I get what you mean, but not necessarily everyone will be like interested. Like maybe you are more interested on like maybe like Game of Thrones style kind of like everyone got their backstory, everyone got where they come from. Then but I think because the bad guy, Stellan Skarsgård, the actor, I really think he steal the scene, man. Because every time he come out, I just feel that he is so disgusting, and also so evil. You really feel his presence. I think the movie, the actor and and also I think the makeup, they make it really like you see this guy, you're like, oh my god.
Oh, the Baron of the
Baron of Harkonnen.
Harkonnen.
Stellan Skarsgård. I was like, he really steal the scene.
So evil.
I also think Dave Bautista, because his image is more funny, especially in Guardians then. But I think he did a good job here. And at least I see him really quite evil and quite like ruthless and at least it didn't take me out of that. It won't take me out of his character lah.
I always find him has the evil look. It's Dave Bautista. Even during his wrestling day and after, even in that different kind of movie, he always has this evil kind of look in him. I don't know. Yeah. So it's perfect for the role, I think.
Actually, I think everyone all the actors, I think the acting all are good. The cast are good. Almost
Definitely.
everyone good. Timothy Chalamet is the lead. No need to. He's the lead, and I think he really, with Paul Atreides that age, and he really fit. Like I think in Hollywood, he's the best suit for. He's the actor that best suit this character. Then, Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica also, because two of them are really the one that has the heaviest scene and heaviest
most
story,
screen-
right?
screen time.
Has the most screen time. Then I think two of them really they do very well. I think
A lot of people don't really like Timothy Chalamet's
Chalamet.
portrayal of Paul Atreides.
Is it?
Of his not a lot. They say like it's kind of too moody. But I don't know. Since I didn't read the book, I think maybe it's just his character. So
I roughly read a bit lah. Then, but to be honest, the character of like Paul Atreides, this kind of like chosen one, is definitely not easy to portray lah. It's not a very outward character. It's everything is inside his head. Yeah, everything is inside his head. He has vision. He has dream. Yeah, kind of like that lah. I was like, I don't know how they can make Paul Atreides something different.
what I would like to see more in part 2 is the definitely this character development for Paul Atreides, and his portrayal in part 2 is like something like a growth or something different than part 1. Then I think this complaint will be like invalidated sort of. And also Zendaya is like almost non-existing in this part.
I think Zendaya difficult to say lah. She totally just like music video female lead like that. She just appear in all the dream sequences and all the things.
You know what would be funny if they didn't announce or proceed with the part 2, then her character will just be like that in this movie.
Oh my god, poor her.
Poor her. Like she's just dancing, smiling there, and then that's it.
She her part definitely led to part 2 actually. I think when I watched my biggest complaint, I think is definitely it's really an incomplete movie, to be honest. I was like, the incompleteness is even like the Lord of the Ring. We also know is like got 1, 2, 3
trilogy.
We also know it's incomplete, but still you look back like the first, the second, the third movie, they still have the complete story arc one, like first act they know about the ring, then second act they meet a lot of challenges, then the third act they decided to split path or what. It's still a complete arc, this one is feel like really halfway through and already it's really halfway through and it doesn't really complete anything lah. Then so I do feel this movie quite a lot of parts also quite a bit difficult for me to rank the movie also. I feel like like to rate the movie, it's really quite heavily depend on the second part also.
They say it's just half of
the book, yes.
Half of one book.
Half of the first book actually.
Half of the first book.
So it really feel like that. Honestly, it really feel like in the middle of the story, they just end like that.
Yeah,
then,
I just left with the Freeman and then that's it. Like
I was like, if the second part do not deliver, it will quite influence my thought about the first movie.
I think you're gonna go more than 2 movies, right?
Actually, Denis Villeneuve say that he intend to make it trilogy. I also more interested if he can make it into trilogy as well, because trilogy would be able to tell Paul Atreides' story to complete. I think because I think Dune have 6 books. But I think book 1 and book 2 only is Paul Atreides' story. After that, it's not. After that, it's not. Then. Because I roughly know the book 2, for me actually I interested to the part 2 story of this movie, which is already confirmed. I think good news. Then but I also really hope that it really can make into trilogy, because I want to see that part as well, because that part is much more complex to portray also for me.
You know what? I think it's one of the problem is it may go more than 3 movies because they emphasize too much on the cinematography, art style, and every scene have to be grand and epic, you know. And
Perhaps.
yeah, and a lot of people also say that it's a bit slow somewhat in this movie, but I think it's okay for me.
It's okay for me as well lah. But I think I went in also kind of. I watched quite a few of Denis Villeneuve movie really. He is a slow burn director, to be honest. He never really that kind of fast pace. But his slow burn is quite I quite engaged lah. I won't really get boring lah. Depend on, but some people do think it's boring.
I don't think it's boring. I think I like the pace. I feel engaged throughout. It's just that just my first comment was questioning why. It's a very, very clear cut, and it's not questioning why, but I mean it's just a different taste of entertainment. And I guess we are so used to movies nowadays that it's a bit more twisted, like Game of Thrones, and then you have like Dark Knight Rises, all this, right? So then I was thinking, why can't Atreides house be the one who is super greedy and evil, and then the Harkonnen with all their disgusting look, but they are the one who try to act honorably.
Actually, interesting. This is interesting part. This is maybe modern era kind of story.
Yeah, because anything does it mean that anything that looks human, is better, right? Yeah, but yeah, I agree on the cinematography and all the epic scenes. I think they pour a lot of money.
Yeah, they did a very good job in selecting the location. They shot in Wadi Rum and Wadi Araba in Jordan, and also a desert in Abu Dhabi.
And I also like how they portray the spice. They add in some effect of the spice actually in the air. But it's a bit subtle, and it wasn't like very obvious. But you also can see it's different from the desert that we been to. I never really been to desert lah, but that's why I said I think I quite like Denis Villeneuve's style, because he is very, he do scenes and everything like very epic, but he does not exaggerate or overdo it. He do it very, I have to say, very classy lah, very classy and very elegant.
It's not something you can easily see. You can't really see at all. It's just like glister in a sandstorm. It's something. Yeah, it's pretty cool way to show the spice. So interesting.
And the sandworm also is, especially when I watch on big screen, or the sandworm really, the plus the music score, wow, you really feel it's very huge. On the small screen, I don't really not that strong feeling on it. I think this is a movie made for big screen. To be honest.
I mentioned that Interstellar was my all-time favorite, right, in the first episode. So part of it is because of the immersion it brings from the musical score. So
Hans Zimmer also.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true for this
Zimmer
movie.
also.
Yeah, there's no other composer like Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
And when the scene with the soundtrack of the woman shouting, yeah,
It
give me goosebumps. So nice.
Yes, especially
It's like
when
Wonder
I watch.
Woman vibes,
No, especially when I watch on cinema, the woman sounds, it really gives me goosebumps. The first time the Jenny Bezeret come out, the scene was also very. They bring the atmosphere, very eerie atmosphere, plus the music score. I was like, I do think this is a feat of great cinematography and score for the big screen. I was like, it's very. I very immersed in the story, and especially the second time when I watch on the big screen.
I'm also surprised. When I was watching, I thought it's gonna be like a very. It's actually quite a chill movie, right?
Yeah. It's quite slow.
Yeah.
It's not fast. It's not fast.
Yeah, it's not like Lord of the Ring where everything is packed. or it's like you have, it's like a lot of things gonna happen. It's like not a lot of things happen in this movie. So, but I find myself like keep on watching, and get entertained throughout the whole movie.
True. That's why I was like, I really hope this movie make the part 2. It's like I I will be very disappointed if it doesn't get. Luckily, it was confirmed.
The response is quite well, so definitely. And of course, I want to see more of Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem, yeah.
Javier
You didn't
Bardem.
mention him also. He also really very less screen only. Javier Bardem is also. Josh Brolin also quite less screen time only. And then, but Josh Brolin at least got some individual time with Timothée Chalamet. Then, yeah. I think Oscar Isaac also really good. The father, Leto Atreides. Like I do feel his portrayal is his character. I would also describe like Ned Stark. Straight away. No, I won't
I
say
think his
so.
character
But
very very interesting. As in, they are quite a strong house, the Atreides, but it doesn't feel that he's like the most powerful person in the whole place. Yeah, he still have a lot of worries. I don't know. It feels like he's just like a person, like a leader, like someone you can mix around a lot with other people. Yeah, he doesn't have the king aura.
I like that how he portrayed as a father, especially with the scene with Timothée Chalamet, that with Paul. He was telling him that, I think that's one of the best part, the part that one of the best part of portraying the character, why why he is such a memorable character for others, perhaps. Like he tell Paul that like they have a lot of all these houses, they have a lot of responsibility, like you need to inherit, you need to be like that and like that.
Yeah.
But he does tell Paul that, after you figure out, and if you still don't want to be the duke or like inherit or all these things, you can still always be the only thing that I ever needed you to be, a son. Then I think that part really quite catch my heart. I feel like that's a true father. He never really just talk about responsibility and all these things.
After that scene, I 100% know that he will die.
Yeah,
in the
kind
movie.
of. I was like, because shit, is this going to be like Ned Stark like that? Then after that we'll die. And holy crap.
Ned Stark is a bit different, right? I mean, Ned Stark is like, he's just loyal.
Yeah, he's just loyal and honor. I feel that.
Yeah.
I think Leto Atreides, I have more attachment.
Yeah.
I feel him, when he dies and then he tries to kill other people with him. It's like, he was naked in the room as well. It's like,
that scene is very powerful. Honestly, that scene is really powerful. The how they portray the death scene of him, it's super powerful, and you feel it lah. Actually, you feel it lah.
If it's not naked, then it's still alright. But
still not as
Yeah, it's naked there, sitting there, watching him eat. Oh my god, it's like.
But it always I think it's a bit not realistic that how can just one doctor take down the whole take down the whole fortress.
I forgot that I know Zhang Zhen was in the movie, but I forgot that he was in the movie. Then at this part actually I kind of agree lah, a bit rush on my side also. After I check, the book indeed has more details to fill up why the doctor can do so much lah. But then the movie didn't really bring it.
I mean, like poisoning everything is okay. But the taking down the shield and the guns and all, like how could he have possibly achieved that? Yeah.
I think Dune would be fleshed out better if it was a series like Game of Thrones. Then
it was a series in 1984. No, 1984 is a movie.
It's a movie
and
also.
Then two TV series in 2000 and 2003.
But that TV series is book 2 onward actually. book 2, not book 1 actually.
I'm not really sure.
And it's more on the I also go and I really do a lot of reading after I do a lot of research after I watch a movie. Then but that TV series was more on the second book onward, not really first book actually.
I'm surprised they are still being produced produced now, as in their elder son Brian Herbert and also the core author Kevin J. Anderson. They just announced a trilogy in 2020. So it'll be until 2022 we'll still have 3 books coming out.
Wow. But to be honest, after I roughly know the original 6 books, roughly know. I find the book after that, like book 3 onward, it's quite weird, I have to say. For me, it's quite weird. I don't know how it's a bit accessible for me. I think that's why I was like, I'm fine if they just complete Paul Atreides story actually.
Weird in what way?
Like that's kind of spoiler, but then like for example, there in the I don't know it's 3rd or 4th book, then because after the story is about the son and also maybe the son and the son of Paul or son of the son of Paul, then I don't know which one go and like mix with the sandworm, so his shape is like sandworm plus human, something like that. I was like, okay.
Both of us are raising our eyebrow at the same time.
Yeah, it's really weird, you know. It's really weird. I'm not very. I also find it quite difficult to adapt to screen. I think Paul Atreides story is quite enough for me.
Yeah, just that 3 books. It's like Josh, like what's the name? Josh JJ, what the Martin, the one who wrote Game of Thrones,
Josh,
still couldn't finish the book.
He still hasn't finished, you know. Seriously.
The last 2 book, like still
taking forever, man.
And I think he's like 74 years old already. A lot of people concerned if he is able to finish.
Because some of the drama does not end well. I really want to see the ending that he intended to write.
I'm not sure he has the pressure or.
But when I watch Dune, I do. Because I was like, luckily I watched Game of Thrones, so roughly I still can easier to understand Dune also lah. I think because Dune compare is more simple compared to Game of Thrones, the whole things. Then, but I do see Game of Thrones draw inspiration from Dune actually. Especially after that the I do not want to spoil, but after that about Paul Atreides, the arc and everything, I do see George R.R. Martin actually draw some inspiration from there.
I think should be a lot of like politics, backstabbing, or because they have a lot of houses, and then the sisters and all.
The Bene Gesserit and the Emperor also haven't come out yet actually.
Yeah, the Emperor. Like even this movie itself, like Oscar Leto Atreides, he knew that his wife is there for a purpose, but still he marries her and then have a son and all. So.
But he actually didn't really. She wasn't like the she's like the concubine. She wasn't really like the wife because he purposely kept it this way, so other houses still would think that they have a chance for political marriage as well. So actually it is They I think in the book definitely more details about the politics side, which I think the movie didn't really bring it out lah. I think Denis Villeneuve purposely make it more easier to be digest because the law is really not easy to digest already. If cram so many things, then it will be really quite jam packed.
Yep. I agree.
I actually first time when what it made me why this story intrigued me to go and read more is the part that just like I say, my biggest complaint is this movie is incompleteness. But I think more also the first time when I watched, I understand some complaint about maybe Paul Atreides' character or Timothée Chalamet portrayal. because I was like, oh, this is a story about chosen one, like about the one which I find I not I find myself not really like that idea actually, because I feel okay, because my expectation toward Dune, people keep on saying that it's very thought provoking and what. So I go and do some research. I was like, okay, it really need to, that one's really leaving to the next part lah, to see how they portray. But this part, the second time when I watched, I only managed to catch some details that yes, Paul Atreides was the one that they so many name of him, like Lisan Al Gaib and like the one the Kizas Zadare like so many very difficult so many chosen one kind of name then but actually he actually mentioned also that he, because it was the Bene Gesserit, they pull the string behind actually. They pull the string behind, they make him look like one, they create the chosen one actually. And that's why
they mentioned it in the movie also,
they mentioned it in the movie. So but I think the first time I didn't really, I glossed over, I didn't really catch it. Then the second time I find it better. They actually they wanted, it is an opposite. They don't really want to portray a chosen one, they just actually want to tell you this chosen one could be created, like the Freeman actually, they believe what they want to believe, because the Bene Gesserit, they put on they plant the seed like, or someone will be bringing you guys, will be leading you guys, like that. So kind of the interesting part that I find I'm more interested, I intrigued by this part actually, so that's why I go and read more. Because the first time I was like, oh, it's too white savior and chosen one kind of story for me. I was like, I don't really
I didn't like that as well. I
didn't like that. But after second time, I was like, actually the purpose of Dune story, Frank Herbert did say that it was he wanted to warn is this, his purpose is that. That's why I was like, oh, I really hope the movie can make the second part of trilogy, because it can really bring out the message better.
All these things can be fabricated, right?
I also heard like later on Paul Atreides make a lot of questionable choices, like we question the moral compass and all. So but I don't know what is it so
I don't know the details but that's why I was like, I wanted to see that. I hope that he can complete the whole story of Paul Atreides then I think I will be quite okay with it. But after that one, I really find it a bit weird the whole things.
To read a book from 1965, I'm not sure if I'm able to do that.
No, to be honest, because I read some of the books or chapters in A Song of Ice and Fire, and I also read some of the some parts of Dune. Dune is really quite difficult to read. Not very
one is written in 2000s.
Not very entertaining.
1919 something.
But A Song of Ice and Fire actually quite easy to read, to be honest. Quite entertained the things. Then Dune is not easy to read. I was like, okay, I think I will just read some people analysis and sharing will be okay already. I don't think I can really read the book, man.
Are you gonna read the book or learn or go and do more research on it, Jun? Are you interested in the lore?
Not really. I have some books that I haven't read yet myself.
But we keep on talking about Game of Thrones. Actually, this one also quite, I think George Lucas also quite heavily inspired by this to create Star Wars. Because the voice
I can see
thing,
the resemblance in the Star Wars, definitely.
I was like, the voice thing and certain things, really quite Star Wars. I think Star Wars also. I can see, right? The Force. I was like, really quite the Force. Especially watch on cinema. I think the sound mixing of the voice, really very strong, very bring it out. You got I got the jump like that. It's like started like that.
Right. Yeah, I don't have any much critique to say or anything else. Anything else you want to add?
No. I think that's that's pretty much it.
No, on my side, I mean.
Okay, so that's all for this episode. For our next episode, we're gonna do a very special movie. It's a special, nah, I can't say it's special, right? It's called, what's the name of the movie?
A Dog's Journey.
A Dog's Journey.
A Dog's Journey. Oh, actually, there's a lot of almost similar title, like A
Title,
Dog's
yeah.
Purpose.
A Dog's Purpose, yeah.
Yeah. So this is called A Dog's Journey 2019. Yeah, it's on Netflix and directed by Gail Mancuso. It's recommended by June. So
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty heartwarming one, so prepare your tissues when you watch it.
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So that's all from us. See you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.